3, 2, 1, now.
What up, Luke?
What is up? Do you have a fact, Toto? I don't, so I hope you do.
Yeah, I definitely made a lot of research to come in this podcast with a great fact.
Okay, hit me with the fact.
So I'm gonna, since we are kind of in a theme in the last weeks, I'm gonna stay in the swine theme.
Amazing.
Little fact found on Wikipedia, a lot of research. Did you know that in the section relations with humans, there's a section called using human healthcare? Did you know that human skin is very similar to pig skin?
Yes, that's why it tastes so good. Sorry, what?
So basically, it's used in research, in biomedical research for drug testing. Hardcore.
Oh no! Can't bring up drug testing on animals.
Yeah. Well, in human healthcare, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, and no, actually, this sentence is interesting. And drug testing, genetic advances in human healthcare have provided a pathway for domestic pig to become xenotransplantation candidates for humans. So,
but go on then. You go fast.
Before you go, I just want to make sure that people understand that on the Wikipedia page, right next to the description, there is a picture of roasted ham with the description, a Finnish Christmas ham made from pork, right next to it. It's amazing.
Right next to the bit saying that they're used for human organs and stuff. Amazing. That is incredible. Yeah, I was going to say, any Wikipedia article that has a thing that says relationship with humans will basically just list the ways that humans exploit that animal, right?
Yep.
That's, yeah. I don't think there's any relationship that isn't exploitation, really. But anyway.
So for my next fact, get ready, because under the relation with humans,
it's double fact. I'm
preparing people for the next facts coming.
Okay.
There's a page where it's written further information, pig farming. I know where I'm gonna get my next fact.
That's what we should do. For these facts, we should just Wikipedia link follow. So you get a fact from that page, and then you send me that page. I will click a link in that page, and then I will get a fact from that page. The new page, I will then send you that page, the new page, and we'll just go in that cycle constantly backwards and forwards and pick new facts.
That sounds like a good idea. Let's see if we can circle back to the same page.
Yeah, exactly. See if we can get back to swine. That's the challenge. Amazing. No, yeah, we should do that. That's good. Before we actually talk about stuff, I want to say, I called Fran out last week to email me, and he did.
Yeah.
Which is very kind of him. I enjoyed receiving that email.
What did he say?
And as such, it made me realise that's between me and Fran.
Okay. Aww.
And I will not share the pictures that he sent me with you.
Yeah. You should be careful. We don't have HR here, but apparently it's called the police outside.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I have seen his Instagram. But it did make me think that we actually never say that if you are listening to this and you enjoy it, or even if you don't enjoy it, I don't care. Even if you just listen to it, you should probably subscribe. We never say it. We never tell people to subscribe.
Yeah, it needs to come in our language. Like and follow, or like and subscribe.
Yeah. Well, you need to say it as well. Like if we both say it, then maybe people will.
Yeah, apparently you need to say it 3 times in front of a mirror, no?
Yeah. That's good. I have, however, just realised that in your background, this is not good for a podcast, but you have a whiteboard marker that I believe comes with like Ocado when you order an Ocado.
That's correct.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And that's the podcast.
2 years I have this marker that is only used for people to write on the fridge, and now to write on the coffee boxes that I have, just to remember.
Yeah. Well, you see, we got one of those as well, and we put it on the fridge, and we're like, yeah, we'd all definitely write stuff. We didn't use it like for ages, and then we're like, no, we should start, like, I don't know, about a year later, we're like, we should start using this again. We tried to write with it, and it had completely dried up.
Oh, really?
Well, we'll throw that out then. Yeah.
It got used a lot of time when I had people coming at my flat drinking beers, and after a few drinks, there was some imagination on my fridge.
That's good. That's nice. Yeah. Anyway, enough wiffle waffle, I guess. Well, no, actually, I want to wiffle waffle some more, because I feel as though this episode is going to be a bit of a covering a few different things. Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Well, I can go first. I have something to ask you, Luke.
Oh God. Okay, maybe I'll go first. No, yeah, go on.
Does public.js rings a bell to you?
Public.js. Yes, it's all the public JavaScript on Snapcraft.io is in that one file.
Correct.
Ask me another question. I'm one for one.
That was a heavy file.
Oh yeah, it was massive. It needed me and Bartek used to talk about splitting it out into like because in Webpack you can split out into chunk files, and we like talked about that many a time, but obviously we never did it. And then Bartek moved off of Snapcraft, and I left Snapcraft as well, and we left you with it.
Well, currently we have someone great that took care of it. Steve, I love you.
Yeah, of course it was Steve. It was always going to be Steve, wasn't it? Whatever. Well, anyway, I'm sure like there are many more Easter eggs for you to find in that code. Okay.
But anyway, this was all splitted. It's code that looks good and much more lighter now.
Good. That's what you want with code. Split and lighter.
Go ahead, ask your question.
Well, I don't have a question for you, actually. I wanted to talk about, or bring up two things, because obviously last episode we talked about Notion quite extensively and quite in depth, and it was very deep, and most people, like a lot of people, unless you're into Notion, you didn't care whatsoever about what we talked about. But it's been interesting since we talked about that, and actually today you sent me a link that Notion have opened up, or like they've opened up kind of like signing up to go on the waiting list for their beta API. But interestingly, since we've talked about Notion and stuff, at work we've been hiring, and over the last few weeks we've had a lot of applications where they've used Airtable as an API.
Okay.
Have you heard of Airtable?
I heard it, and that's
yeah.
it.
I think it's very similar to Notion, but I don't know. It made me think. I don't know, is because a lot of the applications we've had have been from like uni students and stuff.
Okay.
And I remember you saying that you used at uni, you used Firebase.
Yeah.
As like a back-end system for like coursework, and I'm just wondering whether maybe Airtable is the new thing that unis are recommending to use as like an API layer.
So what's interesting in stuff like Notion and GitHub also does that is like they do special prices for students. For example, Notion gives a free account with all the kind of extra stuff that you get when you pay when you're a student.
Interesting.
GitHub, when I was a student, also was giving you a free pro account to get as many private repo that you wanted at the time. Now it's unlimited, but
yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because I guess if they get you into it, then you stick there, and then when you're no longer a student, it's like, oh, my stuff's there, I better pay for it. Okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that makes sense. I just found it interesting that Airtable seems to be the go-to. It's like not Coda, it's not, obviously Notion doesn't have an API, it's nothing like that, but Airtable seems to be the one that everyone is using.
So what do you mean when they apply with their Airtable? Is like they mention in their resume, or they...
No. So like, because I didn't really explain that very well, because we have like a take-home code test thing. It's take-home at the minute because obviously COVID.
Yeah.
And they basically do a little project, and a lot of them, and because of what we do, we basically ingest data and then we provide an API. But the way that they like part of the test is we give you data, or we give the candidate data that's like all over the place. You know, it's not normalized, and they have to normalize it and then provide an API that, you know, serves that data. And loads of them are using Airtable as like the database essentially.
Okay.
To like store it. But yeah, I thought it was interesting, and I'm wondering, you know, I do wonder how scalable it is. But it could be interesting to use if it is either cheap, but I guess, like you say, it's probably free for them as students. But I thought I'd bring it up. It's just another thing to, if people are looking, it's like another thing that Notion will be able to do in the future, just, you know, as a high level kind of feature. So
I have high hopes with the API coming. I have high hopes.
Yeah, same. So that was number one. And the second thing is, and I stopped using Emacs last week. And the episode, it should be like a clickbaity thing, like why I stopped using Emacs 2020. Well, no, I stopped using Emacs. So everyone at work uses VS Code.
Yeah.
And I've used Emacs for so long. I was like, okay, I'm going to use VS Code for a little bit and see what I'm missing. Because, you know, I'd kind of got to a point with my Emacs where it was, you know, it was stable. It was in a kind of state that was fine. But I know that, you know, VS Code have features added all the time. And, you know, you can go on Melpa or whatever and search for Emacs, you know, plugins and not plugins, extensions and whatever, modules, whatever they're called. You know, you can go and search, but unless you know what you're looking for or what you want, it's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to find stuff. Whereas, you know, VS Code has all these things built in that I thought, well, I'll use it for a bit, see the kind of features it has, what I like, and then try and find the Emacs equivalent. So yeah, there you go.
Sorry, converted?
Yeah, it's like, no, I mean, it's fine, but it's like the keyboard shortcuts, honestly, like Emacs is just so far superior.
Yeah. This is what kind of blocks me still for now. I kind of joke, you know, around like saying VS Code, blah, 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 you know, all the stupid stuff. But like it's trolled in the end. But the shortcuts, like I use the like evil mode in Emacs to have like the mix of Emacs and Vim, and like I can't get rid of that. It's too hard.
No. Well, and that's the thing, like, you know, as like a stopgap, I thought, because, you know, there's loads of extensions of VS Code. I thought, you know, I'll use an Emacs key mapping like extension that you can get in VS Code.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yes, it had like the basic stuff, but some stuff had to be remapped. And it was like, well, it's just an arse. So I just decided to remove that and just try and go native VS Code key mappings and just see how I went. And, you know, like, I'm fine, like productive wise, I'm fine. But like, you genuinely, like, some of the keyboard shortcuts are so abstract that I end up like hitting them, like hovering over something, hitting, you know, like the menu key on your keyboard that shows like what would show up, like the context menu if you right clicked. I just press that and go down to the thing that I want, because it's quicker than either getting the mouse or trying to remember what the keyboard shortcut is. And I know that this is like, you know, if I used it every day for a year, then I'd learn them all. But I don't know. All I'm doing this for is to figure out the features that are in VS Code that I like, to try and find alternatives in Emacs. I'm going to use it probably until like, for the next couple of weeks. And then over Christmas, if I get a bit of time, you know, to sit and noodle on my laptop, I might just try and like noodle like my Emacs to be more like VS Code.
Yeah.
But there you go. There it is. Shocking. I'll never leave Emacs properly.
Look, the internet is on fire.
Well, yes, because I tried to go and fix the bug that was in there, but I couldn't because I didn't know the keyboard shortcuts in VS Code. Sorry.
No, I know I should a little bit force myself to go in there. I'm just lazy, but I should just try because, as you say, it's like by discovering all what you're missing is like when you realize that. Like I remember the day when I added. It sounds stupid, but when I added auto-completion on my Emacs for Python, my life changed. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I know all, like, obviously at uni, we were all on, like, tools like Eclipse and all that stuff that does all that for you automatically. You can argue in a good or bad way, but... And I had forgotten all this kind of... Like it's all those nice things you have, and when I added that feature, I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that!" Like it's stupid, but
and definitely just stuff like I really got into in Emacs. I used Tide for like an extension. What are they called? I keep saying extension, but they're not extensions. In Emacs. Anyway.
I'm using especially like Spacemacs and their layouts in there. But you can add packages. But
package. I meant package. So I used a package called Tide for JavaScript, which lets you it basically, it plugs into what the VS Code uses in the back end for its like autocomplete and code navigation and all of that stuff. The LSP server. What's that? I can't remember what it stands for. But anyway, and I got it into the shortcuts of like jump to declaration of like a function, and it just jump you to it, and then I could press Control or Alt, comma, and it'd go back to where I was before, and I got into that kind of flow, which is definitely like way better. But I have to say that VS Code does have some niceties, like automatically fixing issues is really nice. Like not like fully automatically, like it's behind a key press, but so like that's definitely one thing that I want to try and find because we use like linting and stuff. Like I'd write code and I'd have loads of warnings about like dependencies and stuff that aren't necessarily required for the code to work, but it's just like just like edge cases could happen, and like you can just fix them easily and like automatically import things in like a key press, stuff like that. So I want to figure all that stuff out in Emacs. So like I've started my list, and they're two of the things, but I'm sure I'll find some more things, or maybe I won't. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, once you have your list, let me know, and I'll download your comp file. And
well, it won't be evil mode though. It won't be evil. So
no.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll be stuck. You'll be like, how do I exit?
That's
anyway,
nice.
Yes, they're the two things. They're the two things I wanted to briefly touch on, just because it's nice to talk about these things, have a bit more of a chilled.
Yeah. So I was looking just before we started the recording, the GitHub Universe conference, and they show the code base feature that they landed. I think they landed a while ago, but it was just, I think, maybe I'm saying something wrong, but only accessible for beta users, or I don't know, honestly. But basically, it gives you on your browser an environment where you have a VS Code on your browser, and you can basically code it directly from GitHub on their infrastructure.
Oh my god!
And you get a shell where you can basically try to run your project. And obviously, to test it, port forwards where the project is running, like on a unique URL just for that moment. And you can just look at your service running on GitHub Infra.
Wow. That's insane. Like,
that's so cool.
They have so much money.
Thank you, Microsoft. It is super cool. Like, it's super cool. Like, you just need a browser to code and to run your project.
I might just get a Chromebook.
It's almost. Oh man, it's so cool. I don't see myself coding in a browser because I feel I would press Control R or F5 by mistake and.
Honestly, the worst thing moving from Emacs to VS Code, which would be exactly the same thing in that editor, although they probably add some like catches around it, is Control W.
Oh no!
In VS Code, it closes the window.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm not going on VS Code. This is not possible.
Yeah. Luckily, if you've changed something in the file, it'd warn you. It warned you and says, "Are you sure you want to close the window? Are you sure you want to close it?" Anyway, but I'm sure they've thought of that. I'm sure they've got that covered. So that's fine. That's a non-issue.
It's like that. Pardon my French. That fucking Control Q.
Yeah. Amazing.
On browsers, the number of times that I quit a browser like that and be like, oh no. Yep.
I know. It's keyboard shortcuts. Who'd have them? I think we should just use the mouse for everything. I'm going to use Emacs. I'm going to commit to using Emacs with just the mouse, apart from to type letters.
Okay.
To type characters.
I think we're going to change that into a YouTube channel instead, because I want to see that.
The jingle, 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 the jingle, jingle, jingle for the podcast.
Another thing that I've done recently is I bought a Google Stadia.
Ooh. Oh, yes. Yes, I wanted to talk to you. So I was there when you did it. We were together when you bought the Stadia.
Yeah.
How long did it take to arrive?
Oh, 2 days.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay. Well, okay.
I was expecting like a technical question or...
No. I was just going to go through, chronologically.
Okay. Was the delivery man a nice guy? Was he nice to you?
Like you say that, but the other day I had someone deliver something, and because we're on the top floor, I've talked about my fucking house so many times, so I won't go into it. But I ran down because I heard the doorbell, so I ran down, and he'd like left it in the porch, and he was walking away, and he obviously like heard me open the door, and he turned around and he gave me the biggest smile and wave. It made me feel so good. I came back in and I said to me, Amelia, he was a nice delivery man.
Well, listen, I had one that came to deliver also a package. I think it was yesterday actually, and he knocked at the door. He was like, "I have your package." And I was like, "Thanks. Yeah, it's for me." He's like, "Can I bring it in?" I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, we never know for Christmas. If there's someone else, like if it's a present, basically. I was like, "Oh, okay. Oh no, this is for me. Thank you." That's so nice.
That's so cute.
But like, so he whispered after knocking, like, "Bam, bam, bam."
I was gonna say, after most delivery people, like they ring the doorbell for like 5 seconds, constantly, like, brrr, and then they go,
"Is there anyone?"
So good. Anyway, so it took 2 days to arrive. That's good. I was just wondering because you ordered it on like Black Friday, didn't you? So I didn't know whether they'd be like backed up with orders or whatever. So 2 days to arrive. That's good. And it came with, you got the one with the Chromecast.
Correct. Because I needed to. I wanted to upgrade anyway to the latest Chromecast because it started lagging a little bit mine. So yeah. Anyway, I misunderstood, and I think this is a bit miscommunicated on their website. But maybe it's me who misread. Is that I thought it was a bit more. The service was a bit more a Netflix for games.
Games, yeah.
Which is how, like, one advocate from Google, I'm quoting Netflix for game because this is what they say it's not on other interviews.
Right.
Trying to remind people it's not a Netflix for games, but reading on their stuff, like, this was my understanding, but that's fine anyway.
Yeah.
I started.
So just go back to that. So, like, your understanding was that it was Netflix for games. So you bought the equipment, you paid a subscription, and then you could play games kind of unlimited. Like
Correct.
Their catalog of games you could play.
Yeah.
But it's not like that. So you buy the equipment, you buy a subscription, and then you have to buy the games on top.
You can not pay the subscription. If you don't pay the subscription, you get a bunch of free games per month, so which are usually basically independent games.
Right.
So those are free, and it's actually games that you usually play on other platforms.
Okay.
It's nothing big. Don't expect like
No, but
yeah. And then the others, like, you need to pay for those, but it's so good, honestly. So I have obviously like a correct connection at home. I think you need a constant flow of 50 megabyte minimum per second.
wow.
To have something like a good experience.
And is that down pure? I guess because down is for like the video and audio and everything, whereas up is just like the controls, I guess.
Correct.
And analytics.
And analytics, yeah. I should check.
No,
because I have AdGuard. I have AdGuard running. Oh, but no, it's another.
Yeah, see.
Well,
I was going to say, but they probably don't. They probably just collect analytics on their server end because they own the server.
Yeah.
So they can.
Well, no, because they want to see the latency on your side, like if they have lags. Because each time you finish to play, they ask you how was it.
Right. For like quality control kind of thing.
Yeah, and since it's still being built and it's still in development.
But anyway,
okay, experience. It's amazing. Like, there are not that many games, so I wouldn't recommend for people that kind of want to play like that. For gamers, I'm not a big gamer. Like, I play once in a while.
Yeah.
But the satisfaction, like, you just open, you say, I want to play this game, press start, done, it starts. You have no download phase. You don't care about your hardware. You don't care about anything because you're running on Google's infra. And
yeah, you literally just have a controller and a Chromecast in your own TV.
That's it.
You're away.
It's and a good connection.
Yeah. Which are things most people want anyway, because they want Netflix or like basically most people want a good connection and a TV. Anyway, because people are obsessed with
Netflix,
having a really good connection. But people get told that you need to upgrade because then you can have two people watching Netflix at once, even though we know that it's bullshit and Netflix is fine on a slower connection. But people are still upsold that. So actually, the only thing that you're really paying for after you've had the initial cost of the games and the equipment is the monthly subscription.
Yeah.
And how much is that?
It's £8 a month.
Which isn't that bad.
Yeah, but like at my level, since I barely play, I don't think I'll continue. Like I get a free month for now.
Yep.
I don't even think I'll continue after that, but because I barely play, I'd rather buy the game once in a while and play it.
Yeah, that's interesting. So you can pay the subscription and you get some free indie games and stuff, or you can just buy the games and not pay a subscription, but you can carry on playing them.
Not the indie games if you claim them. If you got them while you had the pro account.
But so any game that you buy though, you can play without the subscription.
Correct.
How are they making any money? I guess they're not.
Well, you need to buy the games. That's the first thing.
But they're like a one-off fee, whereas their costs for running these things over time must be way more than it. Like someone could buy a game and buy a big game and just play it constantly every single day for 3 years. It's not going to be 35-50 quid's worth of.
I don't know. At that level, I would say it's more like my theory, a long-term, like a very long-term strategy, because cloud gaming. Maybe I'm too optimist on that, and maybe I'm blind on some stuff, but I see this as like the future, you know. You have nothing.
Yeah.
You can have the shittiest computer and you can play the best game running on the best hardware.
Yeah, and especially with like 5G coming along. Like you'd be able to use 5G to play it seamlessly.
That's how, for example, Apple would advertise all their stuff, and like they made their partnership with League of Legends, and they insisted. I can't remember the company name, but they insisted on the fact that we have 5G. You can play League of Legends thanks to the 5G with no lag and all that stuff during
Yeah.
That was a bit fun because it's during the Epic, Epic Games war between Apple and Epic Games.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And like Fortnite and League of Legends are like cheeky cheeky cheeky.
But yeah, no, that sounds really cool. So what games did you get?
And
what games are you going to get?
I bought the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty impressive because I don't think I'm playing a 4K. Oh yeah, that's a feature of the Pro account. Sorry, I just remembered that. You get 4K stream.
Oh, okay.
While you only get HD.
Have you got a 4K?
No, I don't.
Have you got a 4K TV?
But I mean,
okay.
It's a reason for people to buy.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was impressive. I played a bit. It's not my type of game, so I just wanted to see a AAA game running.
Yeah.
And wow, it's impressive. On a session of like 2 hours, I had maybe one lag.
That is good. And to be fair, like I think even in games, I mean, again, not again, but as you said, I'm not really a hardcore gamer or anything. But you know, even when you're just playing any game, you sometimes get little lags or little glitches or little whatevers.
Yeah.
Little frame rate drops. You know, it's like it's not the biggest deal.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're doing that and it's like streaming it over the network or over the internet is pretty impressive, really.
It's
wow.
Well, it is. Wow. I was like, I remember when they started advertising about it, I was like, yeah, of course. And I know there were other platforms, like I think it's called Shadow, and a friend of mine showed me once a guy that was hosting computers at his home and streaming his screen for people to play like big games on really big machines, just to get an idea if they wanted to buy the game or not.
Wow.
Not streaming. Well, stream a bit like Stadia, but at his home.
Yeah. His actual computer.
And I was already like, oh man! And now, like, the future is coming, and it's so good.
Yeah, I can't remember what the first one was called. It began with an O. I want to say Oculus, but obviously that's the VR thing. But there was one, and I tried it out, and it was. You could do it on your phone or you could do it on your computer or whatever. And I tried it on the phone and I played like, I don't know, Lego. I don't know. It was like a Lego game, Lego Batman or something. I started playing it. And that was like, I don't know. That was probably close. No, it can't have been 10 years ago. Maybe 5 years ago. And, like it was fine, but it was laggy.
Yeah.
But like this technology just so rapidly changes that of course Google and Amazon get in on it, and then all of a sudden it becomes affordable, and and the algorithms and stuff are only going to get better, so it uses less. Like you won't need as good an internet connection and stuff further down the line. Crazy business.
Well, YouTube is already almost in that with like you can think of the YouTube Live stuff. Like streaming from
yeah, true. Yeah. It's funny when you ordered it after like we were chatting and whatever. I went downstairs, went to bed, and was talking to Amelia. And I was saying about it, and she's like, "Do you want to get it?" And I was like, I had a moment where I thought, yes, I do, and then I thought, when? when would I ever play it?
That's the thing.
So I replied the right answer and I said, no, I just think it's interesting.
Yeah.
In a split second, I had a split second decision about whether to try and have an agenda to try and get one, or whether to just let it be. And I just decided to let it be because I know I won't play it. Like, I'll definitely keep an eye on it and see how it goes over the next like year or two. And then maybe I'll get on it when, you know, I have loads of free time. When I'm retired.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, it is fascinating. And I think especially, like, it's going to be popular, like, over Christmas with people that are in lockdown and can't see families and stuff. And, you know.
Well, that's a bit my thing. I'm waiting for Cyberpunk 2077 to come out.
2077, yeah.
I'm just waiting for a few like people to just say, don't buy this game, or buy this game, it's amazing. And if it's amazing, Toto's gonna disappear at Christmas.
But the thing is, you've probably got a computer that's good enough to run these games anyway, haven't you?
Yeah, but I have Linux.
Yeah, but I don't know. I reckon you could probably get away with some of this stuff, like using like Vulkan and whatever.
Most of the games, I'm pretty sure, and I know the work that Steam is doing with Proton, I believe it's called.
Oh, Proton, that's it. Yeah, not Vulkan, Proton. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's getting better and better, and you can run more and more games. I don't know about this one.
Well, yeah, true.
But the curiosity, like Stadia, is more. I was curious, you know. It's not something where I know I'm going to play at it. It's just I was curious. It's so, and it's cheap enough that you can say I'm curious to test that without being like.
Well, and equally, I think one of the nice things about it is like, you know, you can play on your TV through your Chromecast. You know, just like sat in the living room on a massive TV. Great, loads of fun. You're not tied to your computer to do it. But then equally, with Stadia, you can, you know, be in bed or whatever. And, you know, because the controller, you can get like, does it come with like a little
No, it doesn't.
adapter thing, or you can get one? But you can get one so like your phone sits on top of it and then you can just like use that as the screen.
I haven't tried
That's
on
great.
the browser also, because you can play on the browser too.
Yeah.
Because
does the remote, the controller connect through Wi-Fi to your network?
I have no
Or does
idea.
it connect to like Bluetooth to...
I have no clue. I just followed the kind of blindly the
Yeah, the setup, yeah.
So I don't know what it's using.
Interesting.
Well,
Anyway.
I could just test it and try to go on the other side of the room, like far enough so that Bluetooth doesn't work, but still connected on Wi-Fi, and ask someone to look at the TV and tell me, am I still moving?
Well, you do live with one other person, so you can do that.
Yeah.
No, that's cool.
So,
I'll be interested to see how it goes for you, and then maybe I'll jump on the bandwagon in like 3 or 4 years' time.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah. Follow us on Twitter, 418teapod, and go to teapod.club, which is the website. So we always say teapod.club, but like .club doesn't sound like a web address. But yeah, teapod.club is a website.
It is pretty cool.
And
domain name.
yeah. And, yeah, exactly. And be like Fran. Send us an email.
Yeah. Did you want to target someone
Fran's-
this time?
No, I'm just like, I targeted one person and he really pulled it out of the bag. So now I'm gonna go for the kindness technique and see how that works. Yeah. So be like Fran, be a king like Fran, and yeah, send us an email. Yeah, no, I guess that's it.
Well, I think
and subscribe.
Yeah, let's say what we said at the start. Like and subscribe, follow, share with your friends, etc.,
Yeah,
etc.
if there's a subscribe button, like, you know, get your pudgy finger and slap it, or like tickle it, or do whatever. Use your nose. Use your if you're on a phone, use your nose to touch the button. You know, like I do that when I'm doing something else with my other hand and I need to press something and I can't reach. I just like boop
Yeah.
with my nose.
Just be careful. Legally protect you, Luke, from what you're saying, just in case someone hurts him or herself.
Oh yeah.
We're not responsible
Yeah.
if you hurt yourself while you slap the like button.
Yeah, where you slap the subscribe button, slap it. We shouldn't say slap it. That's so bad. When you nose the subscribe button, don't injure yourself. Don't do it too vigorously. Anyway, Jesus. Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
Bisous, bisous.
Boom.
Where's the off button?
Oh, nice.